Welcome to fabulous Mnectrin, where there are beautiful night skies and property prices have plummeted ever since the evil Wiz King has risen from the dead and Queen Laylot has moved into town. Luckily, we have a genie that looks like Hulk Hogan to protect us all here in Zawabi's Refuge. And since property prices are so low, it's a buyer's market. We have safe schools, you're free to roam around at night. Also, this is the 11th episode of the Gingerspyce Tiefling Druid series. And I am level 11. And we're going to take a look at where things are. So on the gear side, as far as what I'm wearing, it's all the same as last episode. So I'm not going to go over any of it except for two pieces. One is the Torque of Prince Rayum. This comes out of the Demon Queen raid. And this is a very rare drop and can be tough to farm out. And I'm emphasizing that because this is not an essential piece of gear. It is not an optimal piece of gear, but it's a piece of gear that I do enjoy using. It's fun and it works well with the tanky caster playstyle. If you're not familiar with this item, the way that it works and the ability on it is the transform kinetic energy ability that's key here. And there's only two items in the game that have that. This and the Tovin's Hammer Rune Arm that comes from the Master Artificer and Lord Blades raids. So the transform kinetic energy ability works where when you get hit, there's a chance you can proc spell points. And this procs a lot. Way, way, way more than a Concordant Opposition green steel item like this. This does also proc spell points and hit points, but the Torque actually procs probably about 10 times as much as the Concordant Opposition. So there really is not, there's no comparison. The Torque is really, really cool. For most casters, this is just going to be a situational item. You know, some casters like to, put this on and get a tower shield and just, shield block against some archers for a minute or so until they get a little bit of mana when they need. It's very rare that you're going to see a caster use this full time. Like I said, it's not optimal, but it's fun, and I'm going to be using this for now. I might be switching over to the Pendant of the Azure Sea to try that out once I get to level, level 15 or something? Whatever it is. Maybe we'll give that a try. But this is what I typically wear at level 11. It also has Wizardry 3 on it, so a little bit of spell points, and spell penetration 2, which isn't going to help me at all until I start using Finger of Death in Upper Heroics. Another piece of gear that's new for this level is the Concordant Opposition Green Steel. And this has a bunch of goodies on it, including Wisdom 6, which is nice for me. Charisma skills, which help things like Intimidate, and just some other bonuses like Diplomacy and Haggle. Not a big deal there. I do have this bound in a tune, and I have the Eldritch Resistance ritual added to it. That's a ritual that you can add at the Stone of Change. If you're not familiar with that, I'll put a link in the video description with a short video that I have that talks about how to craft the Stone of Change and some of the recipes that you can do there. I think a lot of newer players don't realize that that resource is available to you. I think it's DDO's first crafting system, and it just has some really basic recipes, but some of them are still relevant. In fact, most of them are actually still relevant today. So it's just +1 stacking bonus to saves, which, hey, it's not taking up an extra slot. Yeah, I'll take a +1 stacking bonus to saves. That's awesome. Similarly, on the armor, I have the Alchemical Armor Defense on there, and that gives me a +1 bonus to armor class. And so since I'm an armor class build, every point of armor class matters. It's another ritual that I put on there at the Stone of Change. So there's actually a third item that's new this level, and that is my shield. This is just a Kenneth crafted item that I have Intimidate 13, Insightful Intimidate 6, Big Intimidate, Electrical Absorption 21%, nothing in the blue slot, just nothing I really wanted to put in there. I think I have all my augments covered, so just leaving it blank for now. So that's the new stuff. Everything else is the same from last episode, so I'm not going to go over that. But I'll mention I have a few things set aside here that you can start using at level 11, including Scrolls of Resurrection. I only have a 90% chance to use that, but once I have Greater Heroism going, I'll have over 100% chance to use that. And also Scrolls of Greater Restoration, again, only 90%. This is going to remove all negative levels from somebody, as well as other afflictions like fatigue, exhaustion, confusion, and stuff. So I've graduated from Scrolls of Regular Restoration, which only remove 1 negative level per use. This removes all. So whenever you have enough UMD to use those, you should graduate to Scrolls of Greater Restoration, and then similarly from Raise Dead to Scrolls of Resurrection when you can. I also have Wand of Resist Energy 11th. This is just, if I need to throw a resist on an NPC or something like that, I can cast it from the wand instead of wasting my spell points. You can't buy these at a vendor. They are rare drops, but most people don't care about wands like this, so just tell your friends you'd like some and they'll probably throw you a bunch. So I like to just keep one of these as sort of a backup. Again, so that I don't have to cast resist energy from my own spell point pool. There's no advantage of casting it from a spell versus a wand other than it may last longer depending on your level. And Scrolls of Greater Teleport. You can start using those at level 11, and just in case you're not aware, they did add a bunch of new options to Greater Teleport, I don't know, a few updates ago, and it used to only be the kind of thing you could use in a dungeon, and it was a mass teleport. Now they've added a bunch of self-onlys that you can use anywhere, so you can teleport just yourself to Zawabis or just yourself to the Restless Isles, Twilight Forge, Giant Hole, Necropolis, Portable Hole, Meridia, and you can use those. You don't have to be in a dungeon to use those. So that's really, really cool. It's about damn time they did that, right? All right, where are we with other stuff? Enhancements. I picked up some more in the Nature's Protector tree. I got all my natural armor here from this one, and then I picked up +3 stacking to all, or sacred bonus to all saving throws. So that's pretty nice to have pretty high saves. What are the saves at right now? There they are. There's all the numbers. And that's the only thing that's new is for the enhancements. For my spells, I now have level 6 spells, so I went for Greater Creeping Cold. This is a wonderful cold dot, much more powerful than a regular Creeping Cold. And similarly, it's a backloaded spell. The amount of damage that it does ramps up over time, so you want to make sure you don't overwrite your own Greater Creeping Cold with another casting of it. Wait for the first to expire, then cast it again. You can put both Creeping Cold and Greater Creeping Cold on a mob, and that's great, but you don't want to overwrite your own. Also, as of update 38, multiple druids can each throw their own Creeping Cold and Greater Creeping Colds on the same mob, whereas prior to update 38, if you had multiple druids in a party, they would just overwrite their, each other's dots, and that really sucked. And then you'd have arguments between druids about who had more cold spell power and who had the better Creeping Colds. So we don't have to worry about that anymore, which is nice. That was pretty ridiculous. I also picked up Word of Balance. This is a nice, kind of unusual spell where it does damage based on how many steps away the target is from neutrality. So in Dungeons & Dragons, we have alignment. On one hand, we have a lawful, neutral, and chaotic, and on the other side of the alignment, we have good, neutral, and evil. And so it takes both sides into consideration, and if on one side they're lawful or chaotic and not neutral, they'll take damage. And on the other side, if they're good or evil and not neutral, they'll take another tick of damage. So you can hit a mob that's like lawful good or chaotic evil, that it will hit them, it'll damage them twice in one casting. Whereas a mob that's like lawful neutral, they're only one step away from neutrality, so it only will tick once. A mob that's true neutral like an animal, this won't do anything for you. So don't cast this on animals or other true neutral mobs. It also used to have a spell penetration check prior to update 38. That has been changed. So don't worry about that. The only spell that a caster druid now has that you have to worry about spell penetration for is Finger of Death, and I love using that in upper heroics in Reaper mode, but I don't try to use it in epics. I know some people like to use it beyond heroics, but I don't. I'm not an uber DC caster because this is a more balanced build, high defensive. Really, I'm just worried about, in terms of spell DCs, is my Earthquake hitting most mobs most of the time, and that's sort of my unofficial benchmark. If my Earthquake is hitting most mobs most of the time, I'm happy. Alright, I don't think I really picked up anything else worth mentioning. I did pick up Vigor, actually, so that's nice to have a heal over time option, like if I'm fighting a boss and I want to have a little bit of something on me that's just going to keep ticking. That's nice. I think that's it. No feats to mention at level 11. As far as quest goes, is really just all I've done so far are the Sands walk-ups. Chamber of Karush, Maraud the Mines, Purge the Falling Shrine, Raid the Balkurum. I'm going to do Offering of Blood here, and then after that I'm going to do And the Dead Shall Rise in Delira's Graveyard. It's not part of the Delira's chain, but it is out there in Delira's Graveyard, and that's all I'll do for level 11s. You can see I'm already well into level 12 now. Okay, let's go to Offering of Blood. Okay, here we are. We're going to try this on R3. This is a tough quest, and even when I'm in a full group, I typically don't do this beyond R4, maybe R5. It's tough for a couple of reasons. One, endless spawning mobs. Another reason is because the mobs are constantly dispelling you, so I'm probably just wasting my mana buffing right now. I also chose this quest because during the Northwind 2 series, I attempted to do this on R2, but wasn't successful. I knew that was an ambitious goal, but I did get stuck at about the halfway point when I met the first like orange name mini boss. But I was able to do it on R1. I am skeptical though about whether or not I can solo this on R3 on Gingerspyce, but I do like a challenge, and just for fun, let's see if we can solo it. Check it out. Skyborn Scorpion, no problem. Charm that guy, no problem. They have such crappy saves that we're just going to charm them, and they're just not going to save. Their saves are horrendously bad. Stygian, no problem. Let's grab the bowl, and guess what? His friends are going to attack him now. Hit him with the Creeping Cold and Greater Creeping Cold combo, and just going to hit him with SLAs now. Yep, and the rest of those can fight each other for all I care. Not a lot of value in trying to beat down every last mob because, like I said, constant respawns. So it's really, I want to get through this quickly. Blast through, kite mobs, blow them up in my AoEs. Ice Storm, Sleet Storm, and some weeds. Chew them down a bit. Lost Soul, yeah, I'll take that. Okay, now we want to get across this bridge and then raise the bridge on the other side as quickly as possible so that stuff can't follow us. Alright, now those clowns can't follow us. They're not actually clowns, they're drow, but you knew what I meant. I'll put on a displacement. Throw a heal on myself. Maybe I'll even drink like a, I don't know, a Yugo pot, because guess what, that can't be dispelled. Con and Wisdom, sure, why not? Pull this lever, jump on top of it, less likely to get interrupted. Throw some weeds, throw some ice stormage, throw some sleet stormage. Let's refresh our freedom of movement because they dispelled us. I certainly am not doing this because I'd recommend that you try to solo this on R3. This is a pretty tough one to solo in Reaper mode. But like I said, I just want to see if I could do it. I couldn't do it on the second lifer, not even on R2. This is where I died in Northwind. Now, I can't charm the spawn of Valkur because they're like, I don't know, the babies of a god or something like that. So they're coded differently than regular scorpions. But the Manectar and Crusher scorpions, I can. him another round of Creeping Cold, Greater Creeping Cold. Oh, we gotta eat our candy apple and stuff from Night Rebels. Ooh, Lost Soul, yeah, I want that. Looks like my shield wore off. Ooh, Lost Soul. Yes. So slow to move. Uh-oh, I'm getting really low. Plague Reaper makes it so I can't heal myself. And I'm stuck in a web. Okay, we're gonna Rallying Cry the hell out of there. And looks like the Reaper's dead. That's good. We need to find a way to heal ourselves. Actually used my Harper pin to get onto that web. Ice Storm, Sleet Storm, and some weeds. Give ourselves a freedom of movement. Let's throw a heal on ourselves. Maybe even a heal over time. This is getting pretty ugly. Right now I'm thinking I wish I had Sunburst. There's a Manectran Crusher we can charm Soul of Ice. And there's another one that might draw some fire. Okay, now that we got past that mess, I'm feeling like I'm emotionally committed to completion now. I didn't really care up to this point, but now I do. Because we've fought through a lot. Fear Reaper. The Fear Reaper is interrupting us trying to use this. Here we go. Ice Storm, Sleet Storm, and some weeds. Can we get a heal scroll off in the middle of all this nonsense? Ooh, there's another Fear Reaper. Gotta take him out. There's that Soul of Ice, Manectran Crusher, who's charmed again. Using the SLAs to whittle down the other mobs. Yes, I'll take that Lost Soul. Thank you. Heal scroll. And webbed. Oh, now I'm free. Yeah, go attack those guys. Yep. Alright, we're gonna do the whole thing again here. Lost Soul, I'll take that. They've dispelled my freedom of movement, so let's see if I can get another one off. There we go. Can we get that lever pulled? It's a mess in here, isn't it? And get through the door and keep moving. Hey, this is where I wanted to be. All these archers might torque me up. See all those spell points proccing? Oh no, a Plague Reaper! Gotta get rid of him quickly. Word of Balance is really nice on Reapers. Shield blocking. They're giving me mana, and I'm using it to kill them. Those guys are dead. You don't have to kill these guys, but you know what? If it's free, because they're giving me mana, then why the hell not? It's just going to make it that much easier for me to get over there. Let's go ahead and throw the other dot. It's the first time I've used it, the enveloping swarm. Oh, that mark of law. I don't even see it hitting them. There we go, 35. They're 26. Okay, he's dead. We're about out of mana. So, time to use the underwater shrine. I was grouped with somebody not too long ago. They said they didn't even know the shrine was there. Got a little mana left, so let's go ahead and throw them our folks so we swim a little bit faster. And I always come here because there are 4 collectibles. Fun way to troll your friends too is you can tell them that light pick right there will one-shot the boss, so tell them to pick that up and use it against the boss. Give props to my friend Zephyr here on Sarlona for passing me along that little gem. That light pick does nothing, by the way. But it's fun to troll your friends with it. And there's Livingstone's journal there. That's just a flavor item and nothing more. A couple heal scrolls. Now we're going to rest. Now I'm super emotionally committed to getting the win here. We're so close to the end. We got to get over that bridge, kill a few mobs, then boss fight. I'm feeling actually pretty good about it now. I was not confident coming into this. I admit that. It was just like, let's see if I can do it. And no doubt that, you know, having 63 Reaper points spent, you know, that's obviously giant in helping me get this done. And we had some close calls, but we endured. Okay, here we just want to be patient and run when those are gone. And that one stopped too. Don't have to worry about it. Those archers. And bam. We don't have any friends to let across, so I'm not going to worry about pulling that lever to let the bridge down. I'm going to throw a displacement. Reaper power boost. Ice storm. Sleet storm. Weeds. And shield block in the middle of it. And working on these champions first. Don't need them whacking on me while I'm in here shield blocking in my own junior personal hurricane. The personal hurricane isn't in its full effect until we get, you know, Storm of Vengeance later on. And Mantle of the Icy Soul really helps with the debuffs that it provides. I'm going to put on Spell Absorption. Both these guys are champs. That's ugly. We're going to do the Enveloping Swarm. So I got 3 dots on the Aspect of Cunning right now. 3 dots. I hit him with everything I got, right? And he's dead. We win. That was awesome. I had fun. I hope you did too. We laughed. We cried. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was exciting. It was suspenseful. I was worried. Boom. 33,000. That's why you don't want to miss this one. 13 minutes for solo R3. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm pretty happy. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my build, you can respond to my build post in the Druid forum. And as always, if you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube.